Okay, so it's nice to see all of you here. Just getting the last bits ready because I was in the studio, but I'll explain in a minute. So let's switch. So I had just finished recording a vocal right before I started this, and you can see it on your screen. It should be orange. This is to a song called Broken. I've been practicing a lot this week, and well, I guess I'll show you my ugly mug. Hi everyone, welcome. Starting right off, but I wanted to talk about this because it's a funny thing that happens once in a while. I get involved in the work itself, and it kind of catches up with me. So I was working on this song almost until it was time to go on, and figured out a nice way to record the vocal. And well, I'm going to switch to the studio view because I want you to see what's happening here. So, oh, I don't know that you can see everything anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, let's go. I'll play something. I'll play you what I've got so far. Rough mix. Song Broken. And here we go. Oops. And already it started off wrong. All right, let's bring in all the stuff. Because you can see I was singing. And all those weird effects that you hear are all part of the track. They're all going live in there, so let's go back. Your words, maybe machines now concede we were broken. We were broken. We were broken. We were broken. So, that's still going too. Sorry about that. So yeah, I was recording right before I got started because this week, man, I've been like, well, first of all, hi, all of you. I mean, over there. Sorry, I always forget what camera I'm looking at. You realize there's cameras all over this room, right? Overhead, up there. It's crazy. I don't know why I did all this or made it this complicated. Doesn't have to be. That camera. That one right there. My favorite one, actually. I wish it was not so I wish I could put it out more, but I can't because the room is too small and it's very, I don't know. Anyway, I'm over talking. It's the vino talking. But in all seriousness, so no, I was recording vocals a lot this week, working on some projects that I had sort of left behind, and I thought they were pertinent. So you just heard a very live, just finished doing the last bits. I have to still do another rough mix, but I'm almost there. So I'm going to stop this. Hello. And I'm just going to save just so I don't lose anything. Because that could happen. But, sorry, I'm going to, trying to look at the chats. It's 3 aliens. Yes, TMT Mixes says, what's the card behind you on the windowsill? Is it 3 aliens or ghosts? Oh, here. I think they're ghosts. I think they're ghosts. But I thought you were referring to these 3 aliens. There are 3 aliens being held by my doll. Can you see that? So yeah, I have a doll. Oh, Substance is out. The reissue. Another reissue? Like, how many reissues of Substance do we need? If it's a remaster, I think the master before the 2000s was the best, because I hated what they did to the rest of it. They just seemed like they just made it loud and stupid. So if it's that, nah. Thank you, Mai. I love the little goth ragdoll. Yes. That was given to me by my sister, by the way. It was like, I don't know. She said it reminded her of me. I don't know how, but I think there's a picture. I'll find the picture and I'll post it at some other time. I think I understand what she meant by that. But, so, and thank you, Gerard. Thank you. So we're going to start right off with stuff. So anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what? I feel self-conscious now. So I'm going to go UFO Cam. Oh, there. I feel less stared at. So, but anyway, I'm kidding. I don't have to go UFO Cam. I'm just showing off that I have more than one camera. So, that one though, see, that's the subscribe cam. That's the one that tells you what to do right there. So you should subscribe. But in all seriousness, been a busy week. I've got shows coming up, obviously. So many, in fact. Well, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm going to be jumping around the state of Texas quite a bit for the last legs of this crazy, crazy year that I've had of going everywhere. To do a quick recap, remember, not only did I do Hollywood this year, but I also went to Texas, all around Texas. I believe I was in Chicago twice, maybe 3 times this year. Twice. Twice for sure. Mexico City, which was fun with Information Society, if you remember. And I was in. I'm sorry. It is the vino. Cheers. Not iced tea this time. I need a little bit. There we go. A nice Rioja to make the evening good. Actually feels really good on my throat, so I like it. I know, 3 if you count the 15-minute set. Yeah, so it was 3. And then I went to Lima, Peru on top of that. So I've been all over the place this year. So, whew, this, yeah, this last leg is going to be fun because I get to go back to, especially, there's a few places that I like. The last time I went to McAllen, Texas was actually a lot of fun. So I'm actually looking forward to this one because it's going to be in winter time this time and not in the middle of summer like it was last year where it was really super hot. But also I'm dying to go back to San Antonio and El Paso, of course. It would have been nice to have Dallas in there too, but it just didn't happen. It didn't work out this time. But and Houston, of course, is coming up as well in December. And I think that officially marks the last one for this year, which actually gives me a little more time to work on 12-inch, which I've been working on incessantly for the last 2 weeks. You would think it would be done by now, but it's not. However, oh yeah, I know. That's funny, Gerard. But so yeah, Lima was fun regardless. But yeah, 12-inch is almost done. To be honest and somewhat boring, I had to just recalibrate the studio and headphones and headphone amplifiers and a whole bunch of things just to make sure that what I was hearing was exactly what I was hearing. And it's been a journey to do this in the studio because I can't run monitors in the studio. So mixing is a little bit different. I've had to get used to mixing on headphones. It has not been easy, but thankfully I have fixed that problem. So it's getting much better. In fact, so much so that I've been having fun recording vocals and getting back into recording in this room, which is a good thing. So anyway, so I'm going to share my screen so that we can go for the tour dates because people are asking. So I'm just going to let you know where. So this is a recap of the shows coming up. And you can buy all your tickets, all that stuff. I posted a link to all the tickets on X. I posted a link on Facebook. I posted a link on the Facebook page. That's the Anything Box page, not my personal page. So, the M-Pop one, the real one. And also on the anythingbox.com site. So as you can see, McAllen is on November 21st, San Antonio on November 22nd. That's going to be the flight for sure because I got to get up early in the morning to fly out back to San Antonio. El Paso, Texas at the Rock House, of course. And December 2nd in Houston at Etro. And that's going to be a special one too because that's going to be with the surviving member of Rhythmus. So I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. And by the way, at the Rock House, I'm playing with Channel 69 and T for 2. Sam's Burger joint with Robbie Wabi Sabi, which I really enjoyed last time. And he had a request for me for San Antonio, which I'm going to honor. And of course, McAllen, Texas. So that's what's going on. So as what? Anyway. Ooh, Trina says on Facebook, my husband and I were teenagers when we went to your concert at the Bomb Factory in Dallas. Ooh, I remember that. But our curfew was midnight, so we only got to hear the opening bands. Oh, man. The next day, my mom told us she wouldn't let us stay, but we couldn't find a payphone to ask her. I hope one day we get to see you live. Trina, that's a funny, funny story. And I will let you know when we go back to Dallas, because it's one of my favorite places to play. So yeah. Ah, right? Thank goodness for cell phones. My um who doesn't like a dive bar, says AK Box. Well, let me tell you something funny about the one that sounds like a dive bar, but it isn't. Sam's Burger Joint sounds like a dive bar, but it's not a dive bar. It's actually a great venue. And I really like it a lot. I honestly think that Sam's has the best sound that I've heard in a long time in a venue. It's very well put together. So I'm serious. I quite like it. And oh, the chat is on screen. I hadn't even noticed. It's working. Oh my god, everything's working for a change. But anyway, yeah. So moving right along. Um, yeah, Sending Me Love says Sam's best sounds best in San Antonio. Absolutely, man. It has excellent sound. In fact, it has such excellent sound that the last time I was there, I believe it was the last time, um, that's when they would when a whole film crew came in and recorded that particular night for inclusion in a documentary that I'm in, which I don't know what's happening with that yet, but I will find out and report back, because I keep saying that, but I keep forgetting to contact everyone and get on board with that, because it's a big deal. Um, but yeah. So anyway, let's play a song. So we'll turn on the overhead. We'll do the UFO cam for this, because I got this nice little glitchy thing going. So gonna play a variety of things today, but this is one that I haven't played in a while. This is 300 Hours. And you're listening to episode 35. All right? Whatever that means.
Recording. All right. Okay. Go.
Whoops. Wrong one.
When the party has died down.
300 hours. So, oops, ah, I'm messing everything up tonight. I'm telling you, it's not the wine. I swear it's not the vino. It's not. It's just that I have been recording so much that and doing stuff in the studio that today I discombobulated everything and I had to rewire everything back for the stream. The good thing, which is like a nerd thing to say, so I'm going to get into nerd mode for a second. The good thing is that the microphone that I've been using for recording vocals is the same microphone I use for the stream. And there's only one setting that I have to change to go from recording mode to I'm streaming and I need to sound more like a radio guy type of sound. And it's literally, look, I'm even going to show you what it's like. It's literally such a small little tiny difference you can't even tell. So this is the streaming mode. And this is recording mode, which just takes out all the lows because I don't like it to be messy. So that's all. But unfortunately, everything got discombobulated otherwise in other ways. So I've been fixing my rig um, for the live show. And usually I carry like a couple of different controllers on the road. And I decided to pare stuff down so that I could get one controller to do a lot of different things. One controller to rule them all. But, and it worked. Well, it's working. I have to do rehearsals all of next week to make sure that I've got it all down and that my body memory is going to be okay with this new controller. And I was practicing such things here in this room. And so basically, this is what happened. But let's keep the chat thing going because it's kind of funny. Oh, well, that's the big chat. It's okay. That's cool. That'll work. Hey, Steve. Steve's in the house. Hi, Krista. Hi, Wendy. Eric. Anyone else I miss? Earlier in the show, I said hi to as many people as I could. Ooh, I remember a download of the song a long time ago. I think it was it was a freebie. It was during the Electrodelica sessions around there. It was between Electrodelica and Universe, 300 hours, the song that I just played. And it was going to be a B-side. But my friend Rui was starting a label with another friend of ours from Jersey. And he said, why don't you put it on my label? Because that way we can have an A-box track on this thing. And I said, okay. And I agreed not to re-release it for 7 years. And so time is up. So I think it's going to make its home on Bandcamp on the A-box side. And I have remastered it. So this particular one, yes, that's right, Steve. I love when Steve's here because he corrects every time that I mess up, which is good, 300 Hours was on a disc called Propaganda 1, The Speed of Sound. Goodbye July is also on it, by the way, which is good. I do remember that. I forgot about that. Thank you, Steve. I love when you interject and fill us all in because my short-term memory is good. Long-term, well, no, forget it. Forget it. The whole brain is going. But you know what isn't going yet? All of this. See, I still have a full glass, so it's not the wine. It's actually because I haven't had dinner. So I'm like thinking about food, which is funny. I had plenty of time. But what happened was I was recording, and in the midst of recording and going back over the songs I'd been working on all this week, I fell behind. But yeah. So Sue Vargas on Facebook says, you have way too much to remember. You know, that's actually really true. It really is. More than you know. I have, let's see, is it around here somewhere? No, it's not. It's not handy, but I have literally uh, 3 different journals that I am literally always, always um, updating with information as to what project is next and where I'm at. And I'm telling you, I'm behind about 4 or 5 projects. 12-inch is the most important. And luckily, the final mixdowns were done this week. So they're all done. Now I just have to master. So it's a good thing. And as a result, the artwork side got better. Oh, Elizabeth on Facebook says, red isn't a migraine trigger for you? It was. It is no longer. Funny. As you get older, you get into like this health stuff. So here's this funny thing. I've been taking vitamin B1, which is like, go look for vitamin B1 and try to find it on your multivitamin, and you won't. Most of them don't have it, but at least not the natural one. So I started to take vitamin B1, and that changed something because I have not had a strong, sorry, knock on wood, right? I have not had a migraine that has been anything to write home about, and it's been almost 3 weeks. So I feel quite lucky. And the experiment that I wanted to try was I ate garlic, still didn't get a migraine. I drank wine, still didn't get a migraine. So I have a feeling I figured this out. I figured it out. So if you have migraines, so this is like a side note here, but sorry, I'm going to be all over the place. But side note, if you get migraines, try taking iron and vitamin B1. Not every day, but every other day. I'm not a doctor, but it's working for me. And so far, shoot, man, it's working. So working is still my migraine trigger. I think working is everybody's migraine trigger. That's funny. But anyway, I digress. But so yeah, anyway, getting back to all this stuff I was talking about, before we get into the topic of the evening, which I know some of you are going to think it's boring, but to make up for that, I have some good stuff to play in between all the talking. Um, yeah, no, Brian, I'm not kidding. It seriously works. I'm serious. I'm gonna have to write an article about it because everything that I think it's the combination of everything I'm doing. Um, Another funny thing, which I know you guys are like, why is he talking about health stuff now? But I have to. So vitamin D, very important. But the other thing that I've been taking every day is vitamin C in gummy form. And the reason I do that is because I'm not that fond of drinking water. So if I take the gummy, I can down a glass of water with no problem. So that gave me an idea. So every supplement that I take, I've tried to find in gummy form so that I can take more water. So it could be the fact that I'm drinking more water every day than I've ever have in who knows how many years. So far, everything has been working. All right. So Steve is asking on Facebook. Back to music now. Steve is asking me on Facebook, Claude, I know you dislike listening to other stuff to avoid influences, but the new OMD album is fantastic, worth a listen. I have heard this from many people, so it's on my list. So here's the list of albums so far that I have not listened to. Really, like really. I heard the last Depeche Mode album. I heard it twice, and that's it. I didn't want to go back to it. I didn't want to have it on just in case things get influential. I have not heard, but I have on my to-do list the new Tears for Fears album and the new OMD album because I do love those bands. But inevitably what happens is you start to get influenced. So I've just been avoiding it because at this moment I'm knee deep in the 12-inch. I've been working on 2 new songs, well, 2 re-recordings of songs that I really have wanted to finish, and I didn't want anything to get in the way. And I've got an album in there that I swear I just played the album for myself last week, and I'm like, why is this not out? Like, what's holding this up? So I put my own priority on my own projects first. Once they're out and about, then I'm free to kind of like roam about the cabin, if you know what I mean. Once the album's out, once the 12 inches out, I'll feel better about that kind of stuff. So then I'll be doing catching up, and then of course I'll be talking to you about the latest OMD album while you guys are listening to the single from the forthcoming OMD album. It's going to be probably something like that because that's kind of how I roll with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I can't have stuff in my head floating around. The only music that I allow myself to listen to, and it's still influential, is I will listen to old Beatles, which by the way, yes, I'm aware that the Beatles released an album too. I mean, sorry, not an album, a single. And I've tried not to listen to that one either. Um, so yeah, it's been a weird ride with that stuff. So anyway, so I'm gonna play a short song because I wanted to talk about different things, different topics, but the main topic is going to be for the second hour, I think, when things get a little moodier and then everybody just goes away. But I think that'll be fine. That'll be fine. But I'm hoping that that won't be the case. But the word provenance means a lot to me. It means for me to be able to track something down to its first rendition or where it was first made. In art, it's a really important thing. But this week, as I was looking through my projects and whatnot, I found a song that it was a very emotional experience not to listen to the song because I know the song and I'm telling you I know this I know my own material. So for me to be moved by it doesn't mean that I'm like some sort of narcissist with my own stuff. It's not that. What happened was that this particular song was the first recording that Dave South and I made. And the reason I was able to figure this out was because the recording date or the stamp on the file itself luckily was unchanged from the time that we recorded it. And so I was able to pinpoint, like going back to my journals and whatnot, wow, this was the week. This was the week I met Dave. And this was the first song we recorded together. And it was fun to just be able to see that and verify it. Now, what I find interesting about this is that, of course, if I go into the file and I remaster it or I change something, of course, the computer will write a new date and it'll say, file has been modified, and then it'll have today's date on it. So this is another reason that I'm very fond of the blockchain. Whenever I archive something, whatever date that was minted on, whatever date, whatever the creation date was, that would remain on the internet forever. So no one could change that and say, well, actually, this file says this while this file says that. So there's a discrepancy. So anyway, so this was a way for me to figure it out. So AK Vox is asking me, talk to me about Dave. What am I missing? So Dave South was basically we met at work when I had to take a day job for a while. And yes, I had to for a while there. And I liked him. He was a funny character, and he was very edgy. And he gave me a ride home once, and I let him into the studio, and we wound up really connecting on a musical level. And then he wound up being an A-box for a few years. So Dave was what I consider an important member, even though he was only in A-box for a short time. I consider him important because he contributed a lot to the dialogue of the music. But one of the things that he did that I loved was he could figure me out. He's the only person that I've met that figures me out musically. Like he would play something knowing that that would elicit my singing response. And he was really good at this. So when we first met, he picked up a guitar that was in my room and he started playing something. And I said, The weirdest thing is, I think I have lyrics to what you're playing, and it's sitting in my journals. And so I pulled out a song that I had written in like, I don't know, 89, but had no melody, and literally sang the song to what he was playing. And we recorded that. And so I came across that. Actually, last week I was going to play it, but I thought, you know, it's one of those things. So I'm going to play it. So if I did play it last week, then I didn't talk about it at all, or something else happened. I don't know. I don't think I did, but if I did, sorry. But I'm going to play it. So this is the first time that Dave and I met, and it was in August of 2003. And he started playing the guitar. Like I said, I stopped him and I said, "Dude, I have the lyrics to this song." And I went finding in my journal. I went to find my journal, went back to some song I'd written in the 80s that had no melodies, wound up fitting so perfectly to the way he was playing that we literally wrote the song on the spot. So it's very rough because it's just a microphone. But anyway, this is Met a Strange Girl. And that's the one I'm going to play for you next.
Recording. All right. Okay. Go. Her eyes are poetry in my head. I think about them in my bed. My friends don't share her point of view. They say she's mad, she's not for you. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Her movements are so lyrical. The way we danced is beautiful. She wants to change the world again, back to what she said it was. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. She always seems to dress in gray, speaks no more than she needs to say. I can always call her house, she's always there to answer me. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Met a strange girl and I'm falling in love. Falling in love.
You can hear the funny thing. Yeah, that's my punk side, man. That's my punk side. Yeah, he was definitely more punk rock. He brought the punk rock element into A-Box a little bit, and that was a good thing for the time. But yeah, so you can even hear the garage sounds and all the traffic noise and all that because it was literally recorded in my garage with whatever microphone happened to be plugged in at that moment. But I just love the fact that the file itself has the date. If it wasn't for the file and my verification, let's say in my journal, which I had to go back and look at, I wouldn't know when we met. I would have to say like, oh, I don't know. It's some song from the early 2000s. But the only reason, of course, that I remember this is because I remember the day. But if I weren't here, how would you know? Like, how would you know if I didn't tell you the story? How would you know? Like, what would remain? You know, not that I'm saying I'm like the most like special person in the world that has to have like this provenance that you have to remember everything I did and when I did it, but it matters to me. It's like a personal thing. I wanna be able to preserve those things as best I can. So one of the things that I do that with is those damned NFTs that everybody hates so much. If you understood that the most important part of it isn't so much that you have a piece of art that anybody could have, because the truth is, yeah, you could right click and save it. Like everybody talks about that crap, but they don't understand. The most important part is that there is a certificate that will last forever, for as long as there's an internet, so that no one can argue with that story. So like no one could change that history and say Claude didn't meet Dave in August of 2003. He met him in September of 2004. Someone would say no, because that song is on the blockchain and Claude verified, and there is no doubt, and that can't be changed. That part of it can never be changed. So all I'm saying is that this is going to become more important as time goes on. I think we talked about it a little bit. We hit on this subject a little bit last week and the week before when I was talking about the need for documents that remain unchanged, that could always be accessed on the internet, particularly documents from whistleblowers and documents that are deemed to be sensitive, that should be, dare I say it, leaked. So, but on top of this, you have art. And there's a wave coming that is not so good. And we have to kind of be ready for it, because in some sense, it's inevitable. So we have to adapt our thinking to how to circumvent these things with our own way, with our own money, with our own financial systems, with our own way to get around it. If you want to talk punk rock, there's nothing more punk rock than having your own money in a way that the government can't track it. And even if they could track it, that they can't do anything about it. To me, that is the most punk rock thing that could ever exist. It's the most anarchic thing that could ever exist, and I'm fully behind it. Fortunately, it also happens to be a way to preserve art. So, you know, that's the other thing. Yeah, Brian says having someone or someone to remember a person at their best or worth is worth having. But it's also the real thing. How many times have you read a bio, like a bio of somebody, and then they'll say like, oh, this person was an ass because this person says he's an ass and this person says he's an ass. And you find out that those are all people that maybe got fired by this particular artist. So they have a bad story to tell, but that artist can't defend himself because he's dead. And his version of the story was never written. So to me, I feel that, well, every artist in the world, I'm not kidding, every artist in the world should write their own biography. They should. Even if it's really simplistic, one should do it, because at the very least, when you pass, everyone will know who the real you was, or as much of the real you as they can get. And I don't know, for me, that's an important thing. Like I'm always like thinking about that. So anyway, let's play a song. We're almost at the hour, which is funny. So I'm going to play a song from, let's see. Ooh, which one was this? Oh, yeah, that's right. So this is a band that I had the pleasure of seeing a couple of times, but we've never gotten to tour together. And I would have loved to have toured with this band. I would have loved to have had some shows with them. And it didn't happen. So, as it turns out, write a bio, don't live in oblivion. That's funny. Will. Sorry. It always bugs me when this thing looks weird. It still looks weird. Can I get an MB? Anyway. These are the things that make me go crazy. Honestly. There's no way. It doesn't work. Oh, something worked. Okay. That seems to have worked. But anyway. Yeah, Don't Live in Oblivion sounds good. Sounds like a good title for this. It sounds like a good title, mate. So anyway, Will says, I'm going to try to make it to Sam's Burger Joint in a couple weeks. Yay. Good. Anyway. Chris says, I love when you get emotional. Aw, thank you. You're beautiful, darling. Thank you. Thank you. So, The Ravine. I'm going to play a version of The Ravine, but it's not by A-Box. It's a cover, and it's on the Oblivion release that was, or still is, on Bandcamp. So if you want it, you can find it there. I actually really like this one. And I was thinking about the tour thing and all that stuff. This past year, it was nice to play with Channel 69. It was really nice to play with T for Two in Lima, and Blacklight in Hollywood, Robbie Wasabi, and if I forgot anyone, oh, of course, Information Society. Yes, all of them. But, and I've had the pleasure of playing with people like, yes, OMD, and I've played with OMD before. I've shared stage with OMD before. I shared a stage with Propaganda before, which was fun. And a bunch of different people. Not trying to name drop, I'm just saying. But one of the bands that I did not get to play with, which I would have loved to have played with, was Freeze Pop. I really like Freeze Pop. I always have, so... But it's a shame that we've never gotten to tour together. So maybe next year, it would be fun if I found myself playing a show with Freeze Pop somewhere. And maybe somewhere really weird. I don't know, like Oregon or Virginia or I don't know, somewhere strange. Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know, somewhere strange, man. I have never played with New Order. I have seen New Order many times, but no, I've never shared a stage with New Order. I would have loved that too, but not really. I don't know. That would be weird though, because they're super important in my peripheral. I think that I would be crushed if it didn't go well. But yeah, or Austin, of course. You know, I forgot I was in Austin this year too. So yeah, I've been everywhere this year. So yeah, Freeze Pop. So anyway, let's play a song. I'll turn on the moon with the chat so we can keep chatting while we listen. And here you go, The Ravine by Freeze Pop. I love that version. I really do. Which is, as I was going through all these different things. Oh, hi, Denise. As I was going through, I always notice the people on the chat as it scrolls by, which is funny because as I had the chat captured, I realized that the captured chat that you guys can see is not moving as fast as the one that I'm seeing. So I'm seeing like I don't know. It's they're completely. But yeah, they did such a great job. Everyone on that record did a great job, and like I said, I was feeling this sort of gratitude today for being alive, for being still alive, because not everybody that we love is with us. So I was feeling that gratitude of being alive, and I was thinking about that a lot as I was putting this together. So that did inform my choices on as to some of the songs that we were going to play. And what I loved was seeing all those people on that record, um, like not only doing me an honor, but really helping me out, which was fantastic. So I am uber grateful for that. So it was nice to listen to that one today. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to play that one. And I've got other things that I'm going to play that are just off kilter, of course. But so at any rate, but yes, I know. We're coming up on the hour already, yeah. So the topic for today, if you didn't know, was the future of art and music is the blockchain. But what do I mean by that? What do I mean by it's the future? I mean, aren't we here? Well, we're not. We're not here yet. We're close, which is why I keep stressing so much to people like get into Bitcoin, get into Tezos, get into any crypto that you find interesting. I don't care what it is, even if it's a meme coin for God's sakes, but get into it, learn how to operate, how to buy it, how to move it, and how to use it as money. By the way, I didn't forget that two streams ago I was going to show you something and I failed to show you. Will says, can't we use blockchain to quell AI forgeries? You can to a certain degree. So there's two things that there's many things that the blockchain is good for. But the main thing that it's good for is a sort of, for lack of a better word, I'm going to call it copyright. But I'm not going to call it copyright in the way that, well, no, I am. I'm going to use an example. I'm going to use a very common example. So let's say you wrote a song and you didn't send it to the copyright office and you didn't copyright the song. So what happens? Let's say someone finds your lyrics, decides to record the same song, and does not register that copyright, or they register the copyright before you. If you ever were to go to court, the only way you can really prove that that was yours was if you had registered it before the person who copied it. Now, of course, you could say, well, what about your journal? What about your diary? What about sending a self-addressed post? What is it? Self-addressed posted envelope with the date on it and send it to yourself. That was the old trick that people used to do. It doesn't work and it doesn't hold up in court because anyone can send a package to themselves that is today, but then say this was the one that the tape was in. So you could fake it. You could fake those things, but you cannot fake the blockchain. Once you have minted something, it would be, in my opinion, it will become a court thing. You're going to start to see cases like this. The copyright could be secondary to the minting. So let's say I wrote a song and I want to make sure that nobody steals my lyrics and nobody steals the melody. What do? I mint it on the blockchain. I do that first because right there and then I could write on the blockchain, on this day, I wrote this song. These are the lyrics and this is how the song goes. Here's my tape. Do you know that that's actually more accurate than registering it at the Copyright Office. Because, for example, at the Copyright Office, it may take weeks to months before the Copyright Office actually registers the song and then sends you a confirmation back. What if they don't send you a confirmation back? Have you ever tried contacting the Copyright Office? I have. It is nearly impossible, impossible to get someone on the phone or do something. So the only way out that you have would be to sue someone. And like I said, if they wound up getting their registry before you did, you're hosed. Now, these days, I'm not like one of those people that I'm like constantly paranoid about somebody stealing lyrics or anything like that. So it's not that I like think that's a big deal. The big deal is that by registering it on the blockchain, it's immediate and it cannot be changed. Someone can't go back and say that's not true because I wrote a song and it sounds just like that. I'm going to take it out. Well, guess what? You can't. You can't erase it from the blockchain. It's there on forever. That's it. So as a receipt, and this is where it gets important, if there's a receipt for a piece of art that identifies it, if there is a receipt that's on the blockchain, I'm using receipt as it's not the word I want at the moment. It's not coming to me the word I want, but it's more the provenance of a piece. It's very important. In fact, I don't know if you know about this, but I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but there was an excellent documentary on Netflix about Rothkos that were fake. Not only were they fake, they were displayed in museums, they were sold to collectors. And people later found out that they had just really good fakes, but they weren't real. I think that if the blockchain had existed, then what would have happened? Rothko would have had his agent mint the piece. You could look at them side by side, find some marking that he said Rothko he's a artist, abstract. Well, he would not say he's an abstract, but it's abstract. Rothko. If you live in Houston, you might have visited the Rothko Chapel. But anyway, there were fake Rothkos floating around that were sold for a lot of money, and they were fakes. So brings back the question, can we stop an AI, from stealing and doing stuff? I don't know. I don't know how the AI thing is going to play into this yet. But I do know that the best way to safeguard your art and your stuff is to put it on the blockchain, especially documents. I've said this before. I'll say it again. But the other topic of conversation for this evening is going to be why this is important, not just for art or music, but for your own future, for your own financial future. And, it's a scary thing, but we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it a little bit. So anyway, it's 9:04. Let's play something. So this was a song that Dave helped with from the Diaries' third album. This one's called My Weakness Is Your Illusion. And I'll play that one, and we'll come back. We'll come back to the article, to the talking points at hand while I drink here. Cheers. I'm sipping a little bit at a time, but it's quite good. Here we go, folks.
Useless second thoughts cloud my mind. I will show you thanks so you won't bite. Faithless on the tip, I don't care about the way the world moves on and on and on. rest and I won't mind. You give me fever and it makes me blind. I won't spend another dime on what you sell to me. Give myself away from time to time. I had some friends that I called mine, but you will never see what it's like to lose yourself within. Can you read my mind? And you'll understand my weakness is your illusion. My weakness is your intent. My weakness is your illusion. My weakness is your intent. Can you read my mind? And you'll understand. Give myself away from time to time. I had some friends that I call mine, but you will never see what it's like to lose yourself within. You have hardships I don't need. Show me everything what you please. All I need is empathy for who I want to be.
So talk about provenance. So that one was literally, it says right here, mix 3 from March 21st, 2004. So what's awesome is that I saved all the mix downs for that particular record, and I had every single mix tagged so that I would remember and have some form of reference as to when each thing was mixed. And this is missing a backing vocal on the tail end, so it's different, a little different than the album. I think the album one's a little better, but this one has a little punchier kick to it. So, but anyway, yeah, it was Dave and I both playing drums on this. He did one, he made one loop with my drum kit, and I made the other. So yeah. So Sending Me Love says, blockchain is the absolute best way to preserve your data, the data for longevity. Everything will eventually be tokenized, and personal positions will have an NFT representation of the asset on the blockchain. I absolutely agree with you. And it leads me to this particular, there's two aspects to crypto that people don't understand. And I'm going to get into it a little bit for a moment. You ever notice that, for example, high-level politicians, and I'm talking about, and by the way, this isn't a partisan thing. I'm not talking about Republicans versus Democrats, or, you know, in the case of the UK, the Tories versus the Labour Party. They are all in on it. Notice how whenever someone from a higher level office talks about crypto, or crypto assets, because they call it crypto when they're referring to the bad stuff. So this is what I find interesting. So whenever they're talking about money laundering, criminal activity, sorry, you can't see my hands. I'm doing hand movements. So I don't want you to see my hands. I don't know why I want you to see my hands. No, but what I'm getting at is yeah, exactly, Will. Corruption is bipartisan. Absolutely. So once again, you only hear them talking, and they use the term crypto when it's referring to corruption, criminal activity, money laundering, all that kind of stuff. Okay. That's the stuff that they're talking about when they mention the word crypto. However, when they want to talk about financial future, when they want to talk about the way that things will work in the future and the wonderful future that they want to bring us with 15-minute cities and perfectly run green wonderful towns that will be carbon free, and the ESG score will be 10 for every corporation. Everything will be green, 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 green. The thing that they never say is how they're going to achieve that without tracking every single human being. They don't talk about how they're going to, and this is not a they like a conspiracy theory. You can look this shit up. They're never going to talk to you about how the control of money, what you spend it on, is going to be for your own good. In other words, banks are terrible. They're failing everywhere because they are. So what we're going to do is we're going to centralize the money. We're going to make it digital so that we don't have to print dirty money anymore because money has germs on it, COVID, crap, whatever it is. Money is dirty. So, and it's inconvenient for us to print it anymore. So we're going to make a digital form of it. It's going to be great. You're going to be able to do all your shopping just with the palm of your hand, buy your coffee. And people who do that really annoy me when I'm at Starbucks. I swear to God, it's like, I can't believe you're doing this. Don't do it. Don't get into that stuff. So whenever they want to talk about central bank digital currencies, CDBCs, they're all for it. Oh yeah, it's going to revolutionize the entire financial industry. Everything's going to be great. You're going to be safe. No one is ever going to be able to steal your money, except me, of course. But I'm not telling you that. So this is what they're going to use the blockchain for. So here's what's interesting to me. I have on one hand people that will say, oh, crypto isn't green. It's a terrible thing. NFTs suck. Bitcoin's no good. All that stuff. It's terrible. And then on the other hand, they're saying it's going to do away with all that dirty money. And then everything's going to be like perfect. And we'll be able to pay everything with the money that the government sends us every month. And we're not going to have to work ever again. The fallacy that they're failing to see is that money is going to be controlled. What if they don't like the OMD album? What if the OMD album, I'm going to use that as an example, damn it. What if the new OMD album contains lyrics in it that completely defy whatever the current thing is? What if OMD is talking about a subject that would be deemed not good for you? They would keep you from buying that record. You would go to the store and that record would not be available to you. Do you understand that? When everything in your life is based on subscription, and yeah, I saw that, Will, thank you. When everything in your life is based on a subscription, you're tied to it. I was thinking about this the other day, and it's a funny thing. This is funny, but I was trying to watch The Waltons on Netflix, not on Netflix, on Freebie. That's the one, on Amazon Freebie. I was trying to watch The Waltons, and it just kept skipping and doing all this weird stuff, and I really can't do anything about it. Let's put it this way: if I don't have a DVD of these things, if I don't have my own file, then I am beholden to whatever Netflix tells me I'm going to be able to watch, whatever they want to collect or put on their streaming service, whatever Amazon wants to put on their streaming service. But what if I wanted something that I just want to keep for myself? This involves software. It involves plugins. If you're into music, it involves the music that you buy, all this stuff. So, for example, Bandcamp. Bandcamp's great because if you buy an album on Bandcamp, you can download it, you can store it yourself. Okay, you can store it on your own devices. If I take the album down, it doesn't matter because you've downloaded it. It's yours. But if an album gets taken down on iTunes or an album gets taken down on Spotify, you're hosed. It's gone. If someone takes offense to a lyric on Spotify and that album goes down, it's gone. And so it's time to start asking ourselves, how many things are we willing to part with that are going to be taken from us by us not having the power to say no? And it's a scary thought because, believe it or not, it's happening as we speak. It's happening so slowly that it's like that the boiling frog theory. You know, I don't know if you know the theory, but I'm going to tell you what it is, and it's kind of gross. The theory is you put a frog in a pot of cold water and you turn on the boiling water. The frog doesn't realize that the water will reach boiling point until it's too late. Once the water has reached boiling point and killed it, it's too late. So there's going to come a point when it's too late. So one of the reasons that I push NFTs so much, not so much for the art's sake, is so that you will learn about alternate forms of finance. That's the key, to learn alternate forms of money that do not rely on the traditional system. That's the part that I want you to get down. That's the part that is the most important. That's why I do it. That's why I do the Tezos thing. That's why I put special releases on Tezos. It's not because I think I'm going to make $1 million from an NFT that I sell. It would be nice, but I don't think that's the key here. The key is it's my way of teaching you how to be decentralized, how to use something that's not a dollar, but still have a dollar value. Because obviously, I don't think the dollar is going to go away. I hope it doesn't, because our whole country relies on it. Without it, we're all hosed. But that doesn't mean we have to use the digital dollar or the UBI dollar or whatever it's going to be called to do our transactions. We can do our transactions in other things. Yeah. See? Oh my God. Yeah, I know. Like, some stuff is just going to be crazy. Anyway, I'm going to put the chat up and we'll play another song because that's how we do. This next one is 1 minute and 40 seconds. And don't worry, those remixes I promised on my posts are coming up. I've got a nice one from Pharmacia, and I've got a great one from DJ Trip, a Living in Oblivion version that's only been played once since he gave it to me. And a bunch of other things. But this is from Stereo TV. 1 minute and 40 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. I can see you upside down.
So I guess it's a good as time as any to say, please subscribe to this channel if you like what you're hearing. Not because I'm a YouTuber or I intend to be a YouTuber, but just because I had a goal to hit 10,000 before the year is out, and we're less than 200 people away from hitting the goal, and that just makes me really happy. So the best way you can do the best way you can do this to help me would be to share the crap out of any video that you see on the channel, and just tell people subscribe, just help me out, because I definitely want to hit that goal. I want to hit it, um, for many reasons, obviously. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that, Sue Vargas. I saw that you had posted something and a few people did subscribe. So yeah, hit that bell and all that. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, TMT. I forget. I forget the lingo because I'm supposed to do like, be sure to smash that like button and hit the bell or whatever the hell it's supposed to be, but I don't care because I don't really, I'm not about, it's not about that. I'm not here to make money on YouTube. Really. It has nothing to do with money because honestly, it's more about reach. So that's all. That's all. So anyway, getting back to the topic at hand. So you may not heard about CBDCs and you may not know what it means, but basically it's the government using blockchain, but to track you and to keep track of your wallet. So the way it's going to work is something like this. So like, let me give you an example. And I'm going to use Bitcoin as an example. You have me with a Bitcoin wallet, and then you're going to have government saying, you like this Bitcoin stuff? We're going to give you some Bitcoin stuff. We'll give you some whatever that is. We're going to call it digital dollar. And it's based on the central bank digital currency. What that really means is the Fed. So what's going to happen is if you have a job or you do music or whatever it is, your deposits will be handled through the Fed. You will no longer deposit your stuff in the bank. And even if you have a bank and you deposit it to the bank will send the money through the Fed. Everything will be controlled through the Fed. And they hold the wallet. It's they who own the wallet. So they can track that wallet wherever it goes. So if you go to a store and you buy a magazine and they're like, we don't like that magazine. That magazine's very anti this, and this, and we're not into that. Check mark that person. Maybe we don't like that wallet spending that stuff on that money, with that money. So this is exactly what happens. And see, the interesting thing that I'm seeing in the current events that are happening right now is that you're finding that a group that would have been not okay with protesting about, say, something happening here is now being censored for protesting about something that's happening over there. Now they're getting a taste of it, meaning it was eventual that it was going to come to your door. Just because your team wasn't being the one censored doesn't mean that it isn't eventually going to be your team. But here's what's the problem. There is no team. It's just people and them. Them being, it's a nice, bipartisan, elitist, a bunch of people who basically want to make sure that you spend the money the way they want you to spend it. So if they don't like that you're eating too much meat, they're going to say, you reached your quota and you can't buy meat with this. And you think it's a joke, but it's not. I made a video about it years and years and years ago. I wish I would have thought about it. I would have linked it. But I made it years and years ago. You can still find it on the Anything Box channel. It was about basically chips in people, okay? Which people thought, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. They wanted to put chips in people. They figured out they don't have to do that. They knew that wouldn't fly. So your cell phone's the best thing that they can use as a chip. You use it for everything, don't you? You peruse the web on it. You watch your videos on it. You play with your apps. You edit photos on it. People are editing videos on it. They're posting with their phones. So, in a sense, you've already given into it by being tracked in this way. So all they had to do next was say, you'll be able to pay with your phone with everything. And all the money will be stored on your phone. They'll tell you that it's stored on your phone, but it's not really stored on their phone. It's stored on their blockchain, theirs. Now you have me with Bitcoin. The difference is I am in control of that money. If I want to spend it, I spend it. If I want to send it to someone in a different country who right now may be sanctioned, I can still do it. If I want to buy art from an artist who lives in Russia, I can do it. Okay? If I want to buy art from a Palestinian, I could do it. If I want to buy art from an Israeli, I can do it. You get what I'm saying here? There's no one that's going to stop me from supporting an artist that I want to support, no matter where they live or what their message is. If their message resonates with me, I want to support them. And this is why things like Tezos are important. And for the people who think you can't use it as money, this is important, and I'm going to bring it up. Not my favorite way of demonstrating this, but I'm going to tell you how I do it. You see this? This looks like a regular Visa, just like your run-of-the-mill Visa card, but it's not. What this does, this is holding my Tezos. That's right. You didn't know that it was money because you didn't really try it yet. When you try it and you understand it, you'll know that this is money. So how do I spend my Tezos when I go to Starbucks? I just swipe my card. They don't know what it is. They get paid. But what's in here is Tezos. This is my Coinbase card. That's right, I'm on Coinbase. Coinbase allows me to buy Tezos, Bitcoin, whatever it is, and I put digital dollars on this card from any of my crypto. So let me give you an example. If I buy $100 worth of Tezos, and that Tezos goes to $200, I can put all that on this card and then go spend it. As far as Coinbase is concerned, this is dollars. As far as the US government is concerned, this is dollars. If Jonathan says, "Hi Claude, can you put subtitles in English? Am I speaking a different language? Or are you saying that you want me to put subtitles in Spanish? Am I speaking that terribly? Am I that bad? Seriously, am I that bad?" So, yeah, oh gosh, Soylent Green, that's coming too. The bugs. But anyway, look, it's not a bipartisan thing. You have to understand, or a partisan thing. You have to understand, first of all, let me get something out of the way because it's a weird thing because people hit me up sometimes on DMs and like, are you conservative? Are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? I'm neither of those things, and I'm both of those things because nothing is so black and white. There are nuances. You may be pro this, anti that, while being pro this, anti this. It's not, you can't break everything down as to one side or another side. The minute you do that, these awful, terrible, evil people have won. That's how they win. It's them against us. And I'm telling you, you're not in their club. No matter how much they pander to you, telling you that you're in their club, you're not in their club. We are not in their club. So the best way to avoid being in their club, make your own money. Make your own money. Own Bitcoin. Own Tezos. Get a Coinbase account. Start experimenting with that kind of money. Start using it as money. Start with simple things. That's why I said art was a simple way of starting for me. I thought, I want to start doing this. So I started buying Bitcoin. I started using Tezos to buy art. So I own a bunch of art now, and it's awesome. It's wonderful that I can buy art. And yeah, I think on my Tezos wallet, I think I bought $150. It's mine. At least I can count on it. I know that at least the government can't take it away from me. So if there was some sort of crazy thing happening, of course, I can't pretend to tell you that everything would be okay if the internet went down. If we had no internet, we're going to start trading in seashells and sticks and food and other things. Let's be real. If there's no internet, we're all fucked. No way around it. So let's get that out of the way. However, so long as there is an internet, you have an out from a system that is being designed to enslave you. CDBC is not convenient. It is slavery. Please get educated. Right? Krista says, everyone can come borrow eggs from me. Yes. All right. You've been nice. So anyway, I'm going to play. Let's turn the moon. We'll turn the moon on, but oops. What happened? Oh, something's going on. I don't know what the hell just happened. Something went down. But here we go. Here's a song. This is Polaroid, the Farmacia mix from 2020, which, by the way, is another thing sealed in stone. I met Farmacia in 2020 during the Quarren streams. So that's an enduring friendship. I love it. Oh boy, I almost missed that cue. It's funny. I was gonna say I'll just say it. So I rarely do wine these days. I haven't done wine in almost God, it's almost been 2 years. Well, no, 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 that's not true. That's not true. Last Thanksgiving, when I was in El Paso, I went to a restaurant there that's I can't remember the name of it now, but it's pretty kick-ass. It's because I'm tipsy. But anyway, I went to a restaurant, I had wine there, and promptly had a migraine the next day. So which was funny. But it's been 4 days where I've been trying like different things. Like I swear I ate like so here's the funny thing about migraines. So I know all my triggers. I'm old enough to have had all the triggers, right? So I know them all. Like I could tell you all the triggers that I have. One of them is garlic, and I love garlic. I love garlic on pizza. I love garlic with pasta, any Italian stuff. I love it because I grew up with that stuff. Unfortunately, garlic gives me migraines. So, since I've been on this new thing, and it's been about a month now, I've done some crazy stuff. One of the things that I did that was pretty crazy was last week, I ate 2 garlic cloves straight, not cooked, nothing, just straight up. I just chewed them, ate them. Must have not been a pleasant person to be around for a few hours after that, but I digress. Anyway, I did that thinking this is a big test. I'm either going to have a messed up migraine or this is going to work. And I didn't get one. I didn't get it. And so I had pasta, I've had pizza, I've had wine, and so far so good, man. So far so good. So obviously I'm not going to like push the limits and like have an exorbitant amount of anything, but I think no, I did not, Steve. I absolutely did not. I'm not even going to repeat that like sentence. They can see it on the chat. but but yeah, no, it's been great. And look, I've had headaches, but headaches are different. Like if I've been staring at the screen too long and my eyes are kind of hurting a little, that's nothing. I haven't had to take any medication. So that makes me feel good, man. So I feel like I'm getting out of somewhere, out of something. So that's kind of cool. It's been helping me a lot to get back into the recording thing. Because believe me, nothing sucks more, no joke, nothing sucks more than wanting to work in the studio and you have a migraine and you're like stuck in bed for like 5 hours. Not fun. So I feel really grateful that that's happened. So yeah, I'm a little tipsy, but I'm enjoying this wine because I haven't been able to enjoy wine. So I'm like, yeah, okay. God, that's good. Man, well, I'm going to tell you, man. I'll say, Claudio says, VB1 to the rescue. I'm going to try it. I'm going to send you I'm telling you what I'm going to do. Because look, I'm not a doctor, okay? But I'm gonna write out my regimen and I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. And if you suffer from migraines, you can try it. That's all I'm gonna say. But my regimen has been good, and thank you for that. Mine says you look very relaxed. Yes, I am very relaxed, and even without the wine, I've been very relaxed actually, which is really good. Have I checked my blood pressure? You know, it was normal when I went to the doctor recently, and I had my. I know this is funny, but I had my pee checked, and all that checks out so far. So meaning I've got nothing crazy going on, which is good. No diabetes or weirdness. So it's good. All like I said, all is good. So I'm totally stoked that all this is working. I feel much better that I'm not like, oh, guys, I have a migraine. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And look, look, look. The eyes are starting to get a little lighter around, like, around the on the bottom. I'm not starting to have like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So yeah, I'll post. I'll tell you what. I will work on a little article and tell you what I'm doing per day and how I'm doing it because who knows? Maybe it'll help someone else. But anyway, it's 9:43, so we're getting close to the end. So I want to get back to the topic at hand. So, why do I want you to learn about Tezos and Bitcoin specifically? Well, it's because it's your way out. There's gonna come a time when you're not gonna have a choice. I'm serious. I'm not joking. You don't have to believe me. You just have to look around. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Just kidding. Um, you just have to look around. You're gonna notice that a lot of small banks are closing. The medium-sized banks are gonna start closing, and then it's gonna be down to the main ones. What happens if they close? Well, I don't know if you know, but FedNow is already live. I just found out today that California is already implementing their UBI. This is without anyone really knowing. They're already saying like what areas of California, this is how much you're going to get per month for X amount of months or years, I should say, because most of them are in years. So it's the craziest thing that all these crazy headlines, the war and all the crazy stuff that's going on is sort of distracting this financial shift that's happening underneath. And it's pretty crazy, man. I would love to say that we can stop it. I don't know that we can stop it. All I can tell you is that the way to stop it is by not being part of it, or at least having a part of your financial life that is not part of it. So I think that's the most important thing. But honestly, owning crypto is not hard. It's just like having other money. So it's like just having other money. So, like I said, it's wonderful for me to just take this thing on the road and use it to buy coffee and lunch, or pay for my hotels or whatever I have to pay for, knowing that this is tracked differently than everything else that I spend my money on. Now, look, I'm not saying they're not going to be able to track us. They'll always be able to track us. You can even track a Bitcoin address. It's not the fact that you can track it. It's that you can't change it. You can't stop someone from using it. So, well, I like your thought there, Will Perez. You're saying we're going to do the Gandhi play, massive non-compliance. I think that's something that's doable if we were united. The problem or the challenge that I see is that we're so divided on so many different issues that to get together for anything that's completely, for lack of a better word, bipartisan, but not on the part of the politicians, but on the part of the people. If the people would get together and say, you know what? I agree with my Democrat friends. I agree with my Republican friends, or my Tory friends, or my Labour Party friends, or whatever the party is in the UK. There's like 5 of them, right? Or something like that. Whatever it is. Same with Canada. If all of us would say no together, then I could see that we would win. That would be the only way to do it. So I can't say that we're going to come together and do it. But at least I can say I tried or did my best to get people off of the system they're on, or that they're going to be forced to be on, before they get on it. So that's my goal. So when I do the NFT thing, it's not so much that I want you to collect tokens. It's that I want you to learn how to use a different form of money. That's the truth. That's the main thing. That's the first thing that I think about. So yeah, it's getting there for me. Don't think, Sue Vargas says, so everything in the bank should be transferred to Bitcoin or Tezos. Believe it or not, I have done most of that. I have literally done most of that. To different exchanges, so that I could at least monitor my money away from the bank. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, it was reported that people deposited their paychecks and they weren't able to cash them for 2 or 3 days. That's some scary stuff, man. Imagine that on a Friday, basically the bank shuts down and you can't get the money that you can't cash your paycheck. What are you going to do? That's why I say have a backup. Have a backup. Like I said, We can't stop it if the internet stops. That's a different story. But so long as there's an internet, you can use something like this that has an alternate form of money that even if your bank is failing, you can still go and use this. So anyway, that's my little rant. It's 9:49. I'm going to give you what you're here for. I'm going to play 2 more songs, but this one's an important one. If you stayed this long, you deserve it. This is Living in Oblivion, DJ Tripp's Everything Edit, and this is a 2023 mix of the song, and I quite like this mix. I like it so much that I really want to put it on some sort of 12-inch. I swear to God, I have to. Yeah, Claudio Blanco, you're right, man. Several banks have had the direct deposit issue, and they're going to keep having these issues. Don't think it's going to go away. Thank you for saying that, Will. Diversify your risk by diversifying your asset categories. Exactly. But thank you. Thank you for letting me rant away. Anyway, here's what you came for before we leave. And I'll come back and we'll play another song before we go. Let's all, we'll chat while the moon plays. And we get to hear Living in Oblivion. You guys get to hear Living in Oblivion.
It's in the woods, you say.
I'd run the ending bit, and I will because it's that time. But I just wanted to say personally, thank you. Am I looking at the right camera? No. All that heartfelt emotion, and I can't do it right. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me. I really do appreciate it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot, even when it may seem that I don't. Like I said, less migraine days means a much happier Claude, man, and that's not a bad thing. Be nice to each other. Be careful out there. You know, whenever you feel like you have to say something and fight someone online, think twice about it and think they're just expressing an emotion, and everybody's emotional right now. So I don't need to get emotional. I can disagree with this person without getting emotional. And maybe we can have a conversation, because that's what we really need to do. We really need to be doing this more. Have conversations. Please have conversations, good ones. Believe me, I love learning things from someone who thinks the polar opposite of what I think. I really feel that I can learn from them. I may not agree with everything, but at least I can learn where they're coming from. I don't automatically put them into this shelf where they're an other. Don't put people in the other shelf. We need to be able to disagree, because this is what made, at least for me, being someone who came to this country, in the US, by the way, which is where I'm streaming from, being someone who came to this country at 9 years old, believe me, it's an incredible country. And we really need to take care of it. And the best way to take care of this country is for us to stick together, man. We have to stick together. If we do this, I promise you, we're going to get out of all this mess that we're in. You know, don't be afraid to shout to power, because we have to. And don't be afraid when they try to silence your voice by saying, you know, you're going to get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, learn about this stuff that I'm talking about. Do it for yourself. You're going to find yourself a bit confused at first. If you have questions, you can DM me. You can actually hit me up on Twitter. You can ask me questions. Twitter. X. You can hit me up on X, on Facebook. You can ask me a question like as simple as, how do I buy Bitcoin? And I'll tell you. I'm here to help. Because unlike most of the Pop-Tarts that you see on TV, I'm not trying to push an agenda that's theirs. I'm pushing an agenda that's yours. I want you to be happy. I want you to be safe. The real way. Not by listening to all these different stupid media people and celebrities that pretend they want your best interest, but in reality, they really don't. So, anyway, that's the wine talking now. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to play one more song. And then I'll do that while I turn off all the lights. Here you go. You can chat me up as I do it. Someday, Someway, the demo.
Tuned into a radio before I go to bed, listening to 1,000 airwaves playing through my head. You are so far away, and I just can't believe there's still a thread of innocence that wants to set you free someday. You'll be on a TV screen, the colors in your eyes. You will have 1,000 smiles, but mine a love that's meant to see someday. You'll be on a TV screen, the colors in your eyes. You will have 1,000 smiles, but mine will be your guide. You will remember what we still can be. When you're lost in thoughts tonight, on my lips you will breathe. When you're lost in thoughts tonight, on my lips you will breathe someday.
Good night.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?